We love salads, especially if you make them right. You get lots of lettuce and kale and cabbage and delicious sunflower greens and sauerkraut and, well, I won't go into making a salad, but it's certainly not just iceberg lettuce and tomatoes. But what if you take all that time to make these gorgeous salads and then you dump on them a commercial salad dressing? All your good salad is gone, ruined by indigestible sugar and oil and chemicals. Here at Country Life, we've shown you how you can make your own salad dressings for what is much lower in price, and it has the kind of ingredients you know and love. But now we're going to make the ultimate and make you an oil-free, fat-free dressing. That's right, I repeat, fat-free dressing. And I'm going to do it next on Country Life. Country life, country life. How I love to live at Country Life Farm. The grass is green, the trees are tall. Life is sweet at Country Life Farms. We're first going to do our mise en place to make sure we have all the ingredients. Now, it seems there's a lot of ingredients, but a lot of them are just dried herbs. You'll need water. Use clean water. You may use purified water, but if you have to, use clean tap water. You'll use real lemon juice. You can use bottled lemon juice if you like. You can order it on Amazon. We try to use raw lemon juice whenever possible. Just make sure you don't use Meyer lemons, which are sweet. Next is dried turmeric. You're only going to use a tiny bit, just 1/16 of a teaspoon for a small blender. If you have a 1/8 teaspoon, you can use half of that, or just use a little bit. You don't have to use it, but that tiny amount is making it seem like the right color. Just don't use too much, the color goes off. And turmeric is loaded with phytonutrients. It does what 500 different drugs do, but without any harm to you. Next, you're going to use nutritional yeast flakes. It has a wonderful cheesy flavor and is used in lots of vegan recipes, so make sure you order some. Next, you're going to use a tablespoon of sugar for a small blender. Now, I've got a secret. You don't have to use this. You can use what's called Purecane, Xylitol, or an Erithritol and Monk Fruit. They can be used 1-to-1 as sugar, but it doesn't contain any calories and will sometimes actually prevent you from getting cavities. You can get these atoms at Amazon. Now we have sea salt. We always use the best quality sea salt that you can buy. You can also use pink salt or real salt, bought at the health food store or Amazon. Now, this ingredient is special, lactic acid. When you add 1 teaspoon to the dressing, it tastes like you've added tons of vinegar, but you haven't added any. Next, you're going to add some xanthan gum. You can follow this recipe without xanthan gum using cornstarch instead, but you'll have to wait for it to cool down. Xanthan gum is instant. If you're going to use cornstarch, try to get the non-GMO type if you can. Now we're going to use minced dried garlic. It is essential to use to give you that flavor that wishbone Italian salad dressing uses. The same goes for the minced dried onion. You'll use fresh bell pepper and mince it. Wishbone Italian salad dressing uses it dried, but I couldn't find it. You use fresh rosemary instead of an extract that Wishbone uses. We'll chop it nice and fine. Please don't use dried rosemary unless you're only going to use half as much, and it must be ground to a powder, or else it's dangerous to use. We're going to use crushed red pepper. You're going to use a freshly ground black pepper. You can use regular ground black pepper, but I don't see why anyone would want that instead. It's so good when it's fresh. You're also going to use dried parsley, dried oregano, and this is just regular oregano. The only thing is crush it between your fingers between your other hand so that it's not huge. You'll use dried basil. Make sure that you don't use the powder. And finally, you'll use dried thyme. I simply love thyme. We're going to make 2 cups. If you need to use larger quantities, purchase our cookbook as soon as it's ready, which will have all the items written out for 2 times, 4 times, etc. for your convenience. We're also going to use our blender. We like using our regular Cuisinart blender, but you can use any blender. Our measuring spoons and cups, a rubber spatula, and a serving or container. Here's how you make it. Into your blender, you add your water, lemon juice, turmeric, nutritional yeast flakes, sugar, salt, lactic acid, and xanthan gum. Turn your blender on low and then take it to your medium. You just want to make sure it all gets mixed in. Take your blended mix and pour it into your storage container. Now add all your herbs, your minced dried garlic, minced dried onion, red bell pepper, freshly minced rosemary, freshly ground black pepper, red pepper flakes, parsley, dried oregano, dried basil, and your dried thyme. Whisk it all well together. Cover and refrigerate for 4 hours so that the dried garlic and onion are fully hydrated. Here, taste. Absolutely delicious. You can have this dressing on everything you like and not feel worried about it because there's no fat. You can have it on your salad and your recipes that call for Italian dressing. Dressings go for $3.50 on sale and up to $9 a bottle. And they're full of things you wouldn't want to eat, including tons of oil. But this dressing costs you $1.50 to make an equal amount. Thank you for joining us in making this delicious, wonderful oil-free dressing. Please subscribe, hitting the subscribe button, and be especially sure that you give it a thumbs up. It will notify the algorithm that you watch us, and it will make sure that the tasty dressings, entrees, and all sorts of vegan delightful food shows right here on Country Life.